Someone is controlling you right now. Not with force, not with threats, with the one thing you can never protect yourself from, your own mind. Every decision you think you made freely today, every opinion you think you formed on your own, every time you thought you were being independent, someone may have already planned for that. This video is about reverse psychology, but not the way you've heard it before, not the cheap trick parents use with children, not the manipulation tactic from a self-help book, the real version, the neurological version, the version that works on intelligent people, especially on intelligent people. And by the end of this video, you will never look at your own decisions the same way again. In 1966, two psychologists named Brehm and Jack Brehm identified something that would change how we understand human behavior forever. They called it psychological reactance. Here is what it means in plain language. The moment a human being feels their freedom is being threatened, their brain does something automatic. It rebels. Not because rebelling is the right choice, not because they thought it through, but because the brain is wired to protect autonomy above almost anything else. Think about that for a moment. Your brain values the feeling of freedom more than it values making the right decision. This is why telling someone you can't do this almost always makes them want to do it more. Then, in 2004, neuroscientist Matthew Lieberman at UCLA discovered something that made this even more fascinating. He found that when humans feel socially threatened or controlled, the same regions of the brain activate as when they feel physical pain. Being told what to do literally hurts at a neurological level, and the brain's response to pain is always the same: pull away, resist, do the opposite. But here is where reverse psychology becomes something far more dangerous than a simple trick, because once you understand that the brain automatically moves away from perceived control, you can use that movement. You can point the resistance in exactly the direction you want it to go, and the person will follow, thinking they chose it themselves. But understanding the theory is only the beginning, because reverse psychology doesn't just exist in relationships or parenting. It exists in every system designed to influence you. Every single one. Meet Marcus, 40 years old, senior manager, smart, analytical, prides himself on never being manipulated. His company wants him to adopt a new software system. They know Marcus resists change. They know if they push, he will push back harder. So they don't push. Instead, his manager walks into his office one afternoon and says, "Marcus, honestly, I don't think this new system is right for someone at your level. It's probably better for the junior team." That's all, nothing more. Within 2 weeks, Marcus had not only adopted the system, he had become its biggest advocate in the entire company. He trained 3 junior colleagues on it. He thought it was his idea. It wasn't. Here's exactly what happened inside Marcus's brain. The moment his manager implied the system wasn't for someone at his level, his psychological reactance activated instantly. His brain heard, "Your capability is being limited," and it responded the only way it knows how, by proving it wrong. The resistance that was supposed to protect Marcus became the very thing that directed him. This is reverse psychology at its most refined. Not manipulation through force, manipulation through the illusion of freedom. And if you think you're too aware to fall for this, I want you to pay very close attention to what comes next, because awareness is not protection. Sometimes it makes you easier to target. There's a concept in behavioral psychology called a double bind. It was first studied by anthropologist Gregory Bateson in the 1950s. A double bind is when someone gives you 2 choices, both of which lead to the same outcome they wanted. It feels like freedom. It isn't. A parent says to a child, "You can either clean your room now or after dinner." The child feels in control. The room gets cleaned. But double binds don't stay in childhood. They follow you into boardrooms, into relationships, into political systems, into every advertisement you have ever seen. When a luxury brand tells you, "This product is not for everyone," they're not warning you away. They are activating your reactance. They are making your brain say, "Prove them wrong, buy it." When someone in a relationship says, "I don't think you're ready for this level of commitment," they're not expressing doubt. They're engineering your response. And the most unsettling part, the more intelligent you are, the more sophisticated the reverse psychology used on you has to be, but it is still used. every day, on all of us. But here's the question nobody asks. If reverse psychology works because of psychological reactance, what happens when you become aware of it in the moment? Does awareness actually protect you? The answer is more complicated than you think. Most people believe that once you understand a psychological mechanism, you're immune to it. This is one of the most dangerous assumptions in all of behavioral psychology. In 2011, researchers at the University of Cologne conducted a study on psychological reactance and awareness. They told one group of participants exactly what reverse psychology was, explained how it worked, and then exposed them to it. The result? Awareness reduced the effect, but did not eliminate it. Because here's what they found. Reactance does not originate in the conscious mind. It originates in the limbic system, the emotional brain, the part that responds before you can think. By the time your conscious mind recognizes what is happening, your emotional brain has already responded, already pulled in the direction it was pointed. This means that even when you know someone is using reverse psychology on you, part of your brain is still responding to it. The chess players who understand the game the best are not the ones who never get manipulated. They're the ones who manipulate back. And that is a very different kind of person. So what do you actually do with this information? Two things. First, how to recognize it when it's being used on you. The signal is almost always the same. When someone says something that makes you want to prove something, stop. Ask yourself one question. If I do what I'm about to do right now, who benefits? Not who benefits eventually, who benefits immediately. If the honest answer is not you, you were likely inside a double bind. Second, and this is the part most people never reach, the most effective use of reverse psychology is not in getting people to do things, it's in creating space for people to move in the direction you need while making them feel completely free. The best negotiators in the world do not push, they step back. They say, I completely understand if this doesn't work for you, and they mean it. Because the moment someone feels no pressure, their reactance has nothing to push against, and in that space, they often move towards you, of their own free will, or so they believe. So here's what we know. Reverse psychology is not a trick. It's a window into one of the most fundamental drives of the human brain. The need to feel free, the terror of being controlled, and the extraordinary ease with which that terror can be pointed in any direction. The people who understand this do not walk through the world the same way. They watch conversations differently. They read rooms differently. They understand that most of what feels like choice is actually response, and they have learned to choose before they respond. But reverse psychology is only one layer, because underneath it, there's something even more powerful. Something that the brain cannot resist, something it was never designed to question. That is the next video. And if this one already changed the way you see your own decisions, the next one will change the way you see everything else. This is not self-help. This is self-understanding.